Hi, I'm Gary Gibbons, and in this video, I'm going to show you different ways to manipulate drum loops when using the Padshop 2 arpeggiator. I'm going to go move my pointer to the select sample icon here and open up the Bewitcher folder and load the sample called Ancient Venom Loop that is located in the 02 Drum Loops subfolder here. Now that the sample is imported, let's set up Padshop to play back the loop. When I play C3, it sounds like this, since the duration is set to 1. And now I'm going to change the duration value to 1000 and play C3 again. Next, I'm going to change the amount of grains to 2. And now I'm going to change the playback speed to 100%, so the loop is scanned at the original speed of the sample. Okay, so this is what the drum loop sounds like. Now I'm going to open the Layer A ARP page and turn on the arpeggiator. It sounds like this. Now I'm going to change the tempo scale to eighth notes, then drag the number of steps icon to the right so I can activate 4 steps. I'm going to go back to the synth page and point a couple things out before I show you the next step. Okay, the loop that is currently loaded is in 4/4. And when I look at the waveform display window, I can see that 5 drum sounds are displayed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 beats. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, here at the position parameter, I have the option to select a value between 0 and 100%. And when I change the value to 50%, the loop starts at beat 3 of the original sample. Now let's map out the position values of all 5 sounds in the drum loop. 0 is beat 1. 25% is beat 2. 50% is beat 3. 62.5% is the 3 and 75% is beat 4. I'm going to turn the ARP back on and go to the ARP page again. Now, I want to create my own loop and play different parts of the Ancient Venom sample. First, I'm going to add grain position at the destination of controller lane 1. Next, I'm going to increase the controller step 2 value to 127. Okay, so nothing happens because I need to change the depth value, so I can point to the location of the loop that I want to be triggered. I'm going to change the value to 25%. So now, step 2 is playing the drum sound that is located at beat 2. Now let's repeat this process on controller lane 2 and 3, then select a different section of the loop to be triggered. So I'm going to add grain position to both controller lanes. At controller lane 2, I'm going to change the depth value to 50%, and controller lane 3 to 75%. Next, I need to add steps in each controller lane to change the way the ARP pattern plays. Now let's duplicate the steps by selecting the duplication icon here. Let's say that I want to access the 4th drum sound from the sample, which is the 3 and in the drum loop. If I go to controller lane 3, step 8, and change the value to 106, I can access the correct location of the loop. It sounds like this. Okay, so this is the basic ARP setup to access different locations of the drum loop. Now let's add some stutter effects to make this loop sound awesome. If I play the loop in the lower or higher octaves, the sound changes pitch. So I'm going to turn on the fixed pitch button here, and when I play different octaves, the pitch is now the same. I want to have the drum sound that is located at beat 3 play first. So I'm going to go to the position parameter and change the value to 50%. Since I have changed the position parameter values, all of the quarter note drum sounds are still being pointed to by the controller lanes, but the drum sound on the 3 end has moved. So I'm going to change the controller 3 step value back to 127 and add the 3 end drum sound to another controller lane by changing the step value. For example, I'm going to go to controller lane 2 and change the step value to 32. Now I'm going to head to the matrix and add controller 1 at source and grain duration at destination. Now when I change the depth value to -50, I can't hear any changes. So I'm going to turn the playback speed to 0, then the duration setting to a smaller value. Okay, so now I can hear a stutter effect on step 2. Let's say I want to change the step pitch by changing the controller lane settings. So I'm going to add controller 2 to the source and add grain format to the destination. Then change the value to 12 so I can hear step 3 an octave higher. When higher octaves are played, you can hear the stutter effect change. Then when lower octaves are played, the stutter effect can't be heard. Now let's say that I want to reverse the way the stutter is played on the keyboard. I can go to the duration key follow and change the value to a negative amount like this. So now the position on the keyboard has switched. Now let's add another sample layer by going to the Functions button, then selecting Copy Layer A and turning on Layer B. Then head back to the Functions button and select Paste to Layer B. Now I'm going to head to the Layer AB mix, turn off Layer A, and move the mix value to M. Okay, now I have the exact settings pasted to Layer B. Now I'm going to go to the Select Sample icon, open the Fractals folder, look for the Percussion folder, and import Kit 03. Now I'm going to head to the ARP and change the steps to create a different drum pattern. Then go back to the synth page and change the duration key follow to 100%, then play around with the duration values. Now I'm going to turn Layer A back on and listen to what it sounds like with both layers playing. Nice. Next I'm going to add some delay to Layer A, then add some velocity commands to Layer B. I'm going to go to Layer B and turn the velocity value to 100%, then head back over to the ARP and change the step values. Now I want to add a drum fill at the end of the pattern. So I'm going to increase the speed by changing the ARP scale to 16th notes and arrange the steps to fit the tempo. I'm going to add a couple more playable commands in the matrix by going to Layer A and adding aftertouch at the source and pitch at the destination. Now when I activate the aftertouch, the pitch of Layer A changes. Now I'm going to head back over to Layer B and drag and drop the mod wheel to the grain duration parameter and set the depth value to -50. It sounds like this. Sweet. Now I'm going to drag and drop the pitch wheel to the grain duration on both layers. Then we should have a pretty decent drum loop. All right, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you've had a lot of fun, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.